Today I'm going to show you the piece of furniture that saved my life. Okay, so saved my life may be a bit of an exaggeration, but I am going to show you the thing I bought from IKEA that made my life slightly more convenient as a DM. And that's kind of the same thing, right? I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen the video tour I did of my game room. For those of you who didn't, go check it out. It's kind of nifty. In this space, I store all of my terrain and books and minis and everything game related on a bank of bookshelves across the room over there. And it's great. Stores all my stuff, looks neat. However, I DM over here, and I like to have all of my stuff on hand close by for me to grab and drop on the table as quickly and efficiently as possible, as to not slow down gameplay. So that means I don't want to get up and walk over to the shelves and grab things as I need them. Now, some of you might say, well, why don't you just turn your table around and have those shelves behind you? And mostly just because in this space, this is where I feel more comfortable DMing. All the traffic of people coming into the room come through that way. This way my stuff is more hidden and whatever I have around me isn't in the way. So whatever, that's kind of irrelevant. Point is, stuff's over there, I'm over here. I want my terrain and junk beside me, and boom, boom, ready to drop on the table. What I used to do is I had a series of folding TV trays that I'd surround myself with, and I would put my stuff on there. And it got the job done, but one, it took up a bunch of space because the TV trays, only gave me a small footprint to put stuff on, and then took up a big area, and I had to have several of them, and it got a little claustrophobic and a little annoying. So I wanted a better solution. So I found something that allowed me to store just as much, if not more, than 3 TV trays, and it all fits right beside me. You can barely see it, and I can quickly and easily roll it over to my shelves to load and unload. So let's take a look at my new favorite DM tool. So this is the new addition to my DM setup. It is a kitchen cart from IKEA. It is called the Raskog. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but Raskog. I will put a link in the video description. It's really cheap. I think in the States it's like 30 bucks. In Canada it was 40. It's really well constructed, not even just for IKEA standards, but it's a nice fully metal cart. It's on casters that glide nicely. It's nice and clean looking, and it's just about the right size for what I need. My prep starts out, I can roll this across the room over to the shelves and pick out all the stuff for the night's encounters, minis, dungeon tiles, props, whatever, and I can lay them out on the top rack, keep them clean and organized so that when I'm DMing, I can just easily get things, put them on the table, and quickly take things off the table and put them in here so there's very little delay during game. The other thing that's nice is that this middle shelf is actually adjustable. It's not quickly adjustable, but you can undo it and put it wherever you want or set it where you want when you're building it. And I set mine so that all my books would fit inside there, because I try to avoid using books as much as possible when DMing, but you always need to reference something from one of the books. So this way they're all on hand. I can quickly grab them, put them away. They don't take up space, they're not in the way. They're out of sight, out of mind, but very close at hand when I need them. The bottom rack, for now, I'm just using to hold dice. Here I have a bunch of dice separated by type. And when I'm DMing, I tend to grab a handful of D20s to keep beside me if I know what the party will be encountering is going to be monsters that all use, D8s for their damage dice. I'll have a bunch of those on hand. I don't like to have a big mountain beside me. I like to have just what I am using. But always once in a while, your big bad is casting some crazy spell and you need 6 D10s right away. That way they're there and I can get at them. But again, they're not taking up real estate on the table, because as much as I love my table that I built, definitely has size limitations. And once you get 5 players and a DM, paper, snacks, drinks on there, there's not really any room for anything else. So the more things I can keep off the table, but close at hand, the better. And so far, this has been perfect. Like I said, I only used it for the first time in last night's game, but I loved it. It was great. You know, even for cleanup, when I had the TV trays before, stuff would get grabbed and quickly thrown onto the tables after it was done with. And then the next day I would have a mess of all this crap that I had to kind of carry back and put away. This way everything went back in the cart nicely. And if my group didn't get as far as I thought we would that night, and I'm still gonna need some of this stuff for next session, I can leave it all neatly in the cart, ready to go for next game, and just roll it off into the corner of the room, and it can just sit there and wait and be out of the way. And next session, just roll it back, and I save myself a bunch of prep time so I can focus more on the important stuff when running a game. This cart also has the added advantage as a crafter that the bottom of the trays are actually this kind of diamond grill. It's not solid, which means that when this thing is empty, it would make an excellent drying rack for terrain. If you were painting out a bunch of tiles and you want to spread them out somewhere to dry, this would be ideal. It would also be a great crafting cart for those of you who aren't as lucky as I am to have a dedicated space and, you know, end up doing stuff at the dining room table. You could put your supplies, current projects, tools, whatever in this cart, tuck it somewhere in the house out of the way, wheel it over to the dining room table, do your crafting for the day, put things back, roll it out of the way so you are cleaned up and ready for family dinner. So yeah, this is it, the simple IKEA cart that has drastically changed my DM space. I completely love it. I highly recommend it. And I think I might even get a second one for the other side of my space, because it is really a wonderful little helpful tool. All right, guys, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, hit that like button and drop me a comment below. And if you built something inspired by one of my videos, go over to the Black Magic Craft Facebook page and post a picture. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that button. And last, if you really want to help this channel grow, the best way you can do that is by supporting Black Magic Craft on Patreon. All the funding goes directly towards new video equipment and software so that I can bring you better content and give it to you more often. I'll see you again next time. Peace.